Hi, his Nibs here. And what you're looking at is a gaggle of pens. I guess I don't really need to tell you that. Pen World is going to be doing a profile of me probably in the December 2017 issue, celebrating 20 years of hisnibs.com. And they've asked me to send photos of various pens in my collection. And just a small sample I brought together for them. This, what should I say? These are, before you now, are all Chinese pens, which will be a focus of the article. And before I put them all away, I just wanted to do a quick video showing some of them. Let's see. This is the one that really started it all. And that's, of course, the Hero 329. And this is what I first began importing from China back in 97. First on eBay and then later on the His Nibs website a couple years later. So this is really the pen that started it all. And I'm sure you're all familiar with it, but it's a pump converter, aerometric filler, press converter, different names for the same function. And shortly after the 329, I imported the 330. This is a burgundy example. Very similar design, a little difference at the end of the barrel. The cap is quite different, and this one is gold color, as you can see. Let's see, a few years later I started importing Duke pens. This is one of their early models. Most of these are no longer available for sale, unfortunately, no longer available. And I call this the Blue Spider, and had a semi-hooded nib, wraparound nib, a little bit like some old Schaeffers. Also from Hero, they did quite a few really nice celluloid pens, different looks and materials. I'm rushing through these because there are a lot of pens and I don't want to bore you. This is another celluloid, which I of course called the candy cane. It's a slightly smaller pen. And most of these are cartridge converter. This one is really doesn't, most converters don't fit because of the length of that barrel. So that's pretty much a cartridge only pen. You'll have to excuse me. Again, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know why I always decide to do these videos when I'm falling asleep, but I guess it's because it's quiet in the household. Here's another Duke pen, which I sold for many years, really neat. And this was kind of reminiscent of the Stipula Iris 14K nib. Very neat design. And this had an enclosed converter, not technically a piston, but acted like that. So you would fill it just by turning the end cap. But if you disassembled this, you'd see it was a cartridge filler as opposed to a real piston. This is one of, again, celluloid Hero 14K nib, or rather in-your-face cubit zirconian at the end. And this was part of their Doctor line, which was their higher-end pens. You can see Doctor on the clip. Just jumping around. Here's another hero, kind of an interesting design, mainly because of the nib. Semi-hooded. And I don't remember what I called this many years ago. This had the aerometric filler included, but you could substitute a piston if you wanted, cartridge converter type piston. These are the 616s that I currently still sell, and this is like the Parker 51, the standard size, and the demi size. And these come in black, dark green, or burgundy. Okay, that doesn't belong there. This is a Jinhao, although I don't carry this particular model. This is of the Three Kingdoms era of China, and that's what's represented on the porcelain. And I carry a lot of Jinhaos like this, just not this particular Three Kingdoms display, which is why I sent it on to Pen World. Mocha, which I sell currently, and this comes in blue, black, and red. You can see on the website. Interesting. This is from a company called White Feather, and this was actually a gift from a friend. Quite similar to the 61 in design, and also the Hero 329, but the arrow insert is a bit different. This is a current model on hisnibs.com. This has the Chinese calligraphy nib, but it also comes in a Western nib. And this is made by a company called Bookworm. Nice looking pen. Hope to get more of these, but I'm out at the moment. Little pocket rocket, I call it. Just a neat, tiny little pump filler pen. This is a celluloid by Crocodile. I don't know if you could tell this might be made by Crocodile, looking at the clip. This comes in a number of different patterns. I have a fondness for orange in all things, unscrews, and has a different celluloid in the gripping section. I really like these pens, and this can be found on the, as you can see, because it still has ink on it, on the nib. This can be found in the Crocodile section of the website. And this is a Chinese, this last one here is a Chinese pen called Sanye. And the reason I'm including it is just a huge, humongous pen. There's nothing really special about it other than its humongous size. So I sent that on. You could post the cap. If you push in, a little ridiculous, I would say. If you're going to grip it down there, probably knock on your forehead while you're writing. And then this one I think was going to be featured in the article because this is a inlaid dragon and phoenix motif. This is a hero pen, and I had a lot of difficulties getting this into the country, which was the story. Got held up in Alaska by the Fish and Wildlife because it might have been made with the one species out of thousands of conchs to provide the shell. But a very attractive pen, and was a terrific seller early on in the history of his nibs. This is part of Hero's Doctor series again. And I wish I had more of these, but I haven't had these for well over a decade. So those were the hero pens, the Chinese pens I sent. And then Barry Gabay, who is the author of the article, wanted me to display some of my personal favorites. So I said, well, to me in the classic era, and this is not certainly unique to me, probably my favorite pen design was the Parker Vacuumatic. And I know that's a favorite of lots of people. And this is a clear example, but I don't have a light behind it to show you the transparency. But that's still such a prototypical classic fountain pen. And then I'm often asked if I could only have one pen model for the rest of my life, what would it be? And that's a question I hate because I have a new favorite pen, it seems, every day. But if I had to choose just one model, this would be it. And this is my Schaefer Legacy and Legacy 2 and Legacy 3 and 12 and 18, however many Legacy models they made, that I just really, really love. And here's a pen for men, which it's based on. It's a smaller pen than the more modern Legacy, and with the touchdown filler, I should say. And that was carried on into the first generation of the Legacy. This was called King's Gold, another really gorgeous finish. And maybe this was I can't open that at the moment, reaching over the camera. Let me find one that I could. Okay, we have this one. And this has, as you can see, the same touchdown filler. And maybe you can hear this. So what you do is you insert this into the bottle of ink with the filler extended, and when you press down, and I think you can hear that, that's when the interior sac starts to be filled. So just some different variations. This one is in current use for addressing envelopes, as you can see from the ink on the inlaid nib. Here are some others. I don't have all of the Legacies, but these are the ones I like the most. And this was a special edition called the Black Pearl, which is a really gorgeous pen. And that's all I'm going to show you because I'm coming up on 15 minutes, and that's more than enough. So if you've stayed this long, thanks for watching.